Hello and welcome to Workout Every Day, day number 12. And I was right on the cusp, guys. Today I was just so fed up with a bunch of different things, and my stress management was terrible. I felt like I was doing anything and everything I could to manage, but it wasn't working, and I was just tired. I was just tired, and there was no real reason behind me not doing exercise. There's no real reason. There was never a really good excuse. It's more me sitting there and getting frustrated with life and complaining and constantly finding excuses and reasons to not continue. Because, you know, for me, whenever times get really difficult, and this is a bad trait of mine, I tend to end up in that mind frame and trying to unwork that. And the mind frame is, by the way, the mind frame is, when things go wrong, just throw your hands up. But I said, you know what, screw it. I am going to do some cardio. I'm still here, um, very late at night because I was gonna do it in the morning, but yesterday I had done something super late, and I was actually unable to maintain my schedule. So, if anything, this is a test to see how I handle something like that. My schedule was majorly thrown off, and that just it makes me anxious and upset, regardless of whether or not it is in my control or not. But I did know that it was in my control. I did know I made choices and I made decisions to make it harder for me to just exercise right away. And no matter how many times mentally I would tell myself, hey, the first thing we do is we wake up and we work out, I was unable. And now I want to make a note on cardio. So, guys, I know a lot of people tell me that they hate cardio and they hate running and all this or that. And you know what? I did too. I spent a lot of time when I started with cardio only running for 5 minutes at a time and just doing maybe other things. And guys, if you have a sport you're interested in, if you have some form of cardio that you haven't tried, give other things a try. Just look it up. You can do a Google search. But sports is one example. Martial arts is a great way, I think, if you're doing long sessions. There's tons of different ways to get that heart rate and that steady state range so that you get the benefits of heart health and of course fat loss for those of you interested. So I would say do your own research. You don't have to run, but of course running engages the full body. Yes, it does burn a lot of calories, but find something that your body can handle, that you can adhere to, and then do it. And if you want to make things difficult, by means, go ahead and start running, right? I've limited my runs to only once a week now because I'm not actually trying to train to run an ultra marathon. I'm going to leave that for much later on in my life. It's just not a good time for me to be training to I don't know how many kilometers it is. But anyways, I'm rambling. Hopefully you see some of the movements that I'm doing here in the background. You can see me doing things like fast feet, skipping, hopping, doing what I like to call botched martial arts because, I'm not training. I'm not actually trying to be a fighter. But just moving the upper body gets my heart rate engaged without me having to rely on my legs, which is why sometimes you'll see me do something with the upper body. Um, and a lot of my balance and stability exercises, I never want to lose my ability to do them effectively. So you'll see me mix them in whenever I do a cardio workout, just to feel through the movement, get to use it again. Like single leg hops are one of my favorites for balance and things like that. And I've noticed over the years, the more and more I've done single leg stuff, I have been so much more controlled on my landings from jumps and things like that. And it just makes me super excited when I see the progress that I've made in the beginning, like unable to balance on one leg to being able to hop in like different directions and at different speeds and intensities, right? So actually, and you know what? That's letting me think of something else. Just a note on movements in general, like whenever you have explosive movements, whenever you have new movements, learning how to do them at different speeds, guys, that just improves, I think, your stability. It improves everything you need. Like if you're only doing a movement super explosive and super fast and never work it slow, you might miss some things, okay? And vice versa, right? I think it's important to have both in your routine so you can really feel it out and know where you're at. But anyways, that is pretty much all my thoughts on today. It is super late at night and I pretty much have to wake up in 3 hours to work out and get ready to go to work. Take care and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.